In recent years, Republicans across the country have attempted to, and in some cases, successfully pass laws to suppress the college student vote. This includes New Hampshire, which, let's just say, has a history with these kinds of laws. But don't worry, we're here to make sure that you know your rights. Plain and simple, you have a right to establish a domicile where you go to school. It doesn't matter how long you've been a student in New Hampshire, or if your family lives out of state. If you want to vote here, you can. When you register to vote, you'll be asked to prove where you live by showing a document that includes your name and address. This could be a rental agreement for your off-campus apartment, a school document that shows your dorm assignment, and even a letter from your RA. You also have the right to vote where you live before going to school with an absentee ballot. Just make sure you check the deadlines for your home state, and remember, you can only choose one place to vote. New Hampshire requires you to bring an ID with you to the polls on Election Day. And your university ID is just one of many forms you can bring to prove your identity. Just make sure it contains an expiration date or a date of issue. So what do you do if you're challenged in any of this on Election Day? While it's highly unlikely, remember that anyone excessively questioning your qualifications or spreading false information about voter requirements are forms of voter intimidation and are illegal. If this occurs, notify an official at your polling place, and remember, you can still fill out something called an affidavit ballot. About that, remember when I talked about those voter suppression laws? If you forget your ID on Election Day, you could still vote, but under Senate Bill 418, you have to fill out something called an affidavit ballot. These ballots only count towards the election results if you mail your proof of ID to the New Hampshire Secretary of State within 7 days of the election. So, just do your best to remember your ID on Election Day, and if you're unregistered, everything you need for same-day registration. But things don't end there. New Hampshire Republicans passed House Bill 1264, which says that if you vote in New Hampshire, you'll be subject to the same obligations as residents, including the Motor Vehicle Code. Now, this law can't stop you from casting your ballot on Election Day, but it says that if you drive in New Hampshire, you'll have to switch over your driver's license and vehicle registration. Now, this is a process that can cost hundreds of dollars, leading some to call the law a poll tax. Now, New Hampshire is currently being sued over the affidavit law by the DNC, but while these laws are in place, the best thing you can do is be aware of the rules and know your voting rights.